So hello everyone and welcome to join us today. Today we have Ian Redpath for our special speaker here and for the interview. So Ian, would you mind to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, Ian Redpath. I'm the Research Director for Transport Network and Components at Omdia.
Thank you, Ian, for the introduction. It's really our great pleasure to have you. So our first question for today is actually relevant to the flex-grade ROADM. So the first question will be, flex-grade ROADM has become the mainstream in the backbone network. And the ROADM is the mainstream in many metro networks. So do you think network-wide ROADM will become the deployment directions? And what benefit and challenges do you think it will bring?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yep, absolutely, for sure. The industry is transitioned to FlexGrid ROADM. It allows you more latitude for different modulation formats and different spectral spacing, so there's more flexibility there. In terms of ROADM evolution, it's really going in two directions: higher capacity wavelength management in the core, and then wavelength management out to the network edge. So more cost effective, but still flexible wavelength management, and you're getting the benefit of wavelength switching as opposed to legacy electrical switching, which consumes a lot of power.
Thank you, Ian, for the insights. So the next question will be, according to the current industry development trends, 400G is mature. So can you please talk about the 400G port shipment forecast in the coming years in the CSPs?
Yeah, so the 400 gig market is kind of split into two. There's what we call the embedded, so those are the larger form factor solutions, and then there's the smaller form factor pluggable. So in the higher capacity end, we have a few more options: 600 gig, 800 gig, 1.2T, etc. So the embedded solutions will gravitate that way, but where we see a lot of life for 400 gig still to come is on the pluggable side. And so there we expect.
Thanks, Tim, for the forecast. So the third question will be, the network efficiency is improvement and revenue increase is an eternal topic. So what rules can network automation play here? What do you think?
Yeah, thank you for that. Operations is a pretty big topic, so I'll just latch on to one facet and kind of run with that one. So in terms of monitoring networks and monitoring performance, we're getting a lot more of that. It's one of those things where 5 years ago there was a little bit, and now it's just more, and it's become more of a table stakes type of item. So there's more embedded OTDRs in networks for a point to measure optical performance parameters, and more statistics are being pulled off of coherent DSPs. So a lot more data on the network performance is available. Operators are ingesting that, putting it into large database, and then analyzing it to pull out trends and then to develop predictions off of that. So it's something that's moved from kind of the notion and now to a more mainstream item.
Thanks, Ian. And the last question for today is, the ultra high-speed 800 gig, 1.2T, 1.6Ts are developing rapidly. So what changes will this bring to the 400G ZR Plus industry development and commercial deployment?
Yeah, I think, a lot of these things, when you sort of look at, the extreme ends of the field, it's pretty clear. The high end embedded, the 1.2T, et cetera, that will be for the ultra high performance long reach. So your really long reaches, the massive countries and even into subsea. And then the 400 gig pluggables, that will go into more of the metro regional. So it's pretty clear at those ends. And then where you kind of get the tussle, how does it shape up in that kind of boundary area in the middle? And that'll come down to operator choice. Are they after spectral efficiency and high performance, or do they want to go kind of the form factor power optimized route? Different operators will have set different priorities, and then that will guide them towards the solution that they want to implement and use.
Well, thank you so much, Ian, for all the great insights here today. So this is basically bring us to the end of today's interview, and thank you so much, Ian, to have you here, and hope you have a great rest of the day.
Well, thank you for having me.